my peoples? I am back. This is gonna be my most ambitious build to date. So I got contacted by somebody actually through. So what happened is on Facebook at some point when I opened up a new Facebook account specifically for action figures, dials, and that type of thing. I chose the name Al Figures, and then what ended up happening is Facebook started cracking down on people who had, who weren't using their real names, I guess their government names. So eventually my account got turned into a like page, and then so I kind of I didn't have a regular page anymore, and the only way I can get it back is I had to show them a picture of an ID or whatever, and so I got my page back. I got my page back under my government name, but then one of the things that happened is I was pretty much out of every group that I originally was in. I was I was an admin of Dial Structure. I wasn't anymore, and so then when I got back, they kept my other page as a like page. So now I have a like page under Al Figures, as well as my own my page under my name. Anyway, long story short, was contacted through the Al Figures like page. And it was a person from Mexico, which is kind of cool. I actually have a cousin who's half Puerto Rican, half Mexican. My aunt married a Mexican dude, and so yeah, man. So I have some family in Mexico, and it was kind of cool because by the time I finished this and ship it out, I would have shipped to London, Australia, Canada, Mexico, and all over the U.S., which is kind of cool, man. To be honest with you, it's kind of cool that artwork that I'm creating is going all over the world. So anyway, he wanted the works, man. He wanted the biggest that I offer. He wanted fire escape. He wanted it to be he wanted it maxed out. He wanted me to go all out. So that's why I said this is my most ambitious build. So what we're looking at right now is 24 inches across. Haven't done a 24-inch in some time. 16 inches tall, 12 inches deep, and wanted to just show you guys this real quick and just talk a little bit about the background. And so obviously, segment 2 will be more of what it's gonna look like. Yo. So a little more progression on this as my camera's about to die, but started on the stairs last night. This is my first time creating these type of stairs, so it's all new to me, and I'm just trying to make it work the best I can. I think what I'm gonna do is just set up some permanently glue on some stuff on the back of this wall so the stairs just sit on it, and just kind of leave it at that. And I may reinforce these stairs on the inside with with something else, but just to kind of keep it strong. Cut out a window. I may cut one out here, I'm not sure. There's going to be a door at the top of those stairs. Looks like I'm going to be putting a fire escape here. And then this wall's a little shorter because I'll be putting an electricity pole there. So that's what we're at so far. Steady progress. I should get a lot done this weekend, and I hope to have this ready to ship by next weekend. And it's going to Mexico. So I'm not sure what the shipping time is there, but I always try to get my dials done, any commissions, I try to get them done within 10 to 14 days. So that's always the goal. Always give myself a deadline. All right, man, so that's where we're at. May put a door here, just like a non-working door. I think the door up there is going to be a working door, although I'm looking at it now and a working door may not fit. But I take that back because there is going to be a little bit of a fire escape there. So I take that back. I think it should be okay. All right, y'all. And this is where I'm at. And I'm out. Peace. So, wanted to just record this part real quick. So, I've progressed along, and actually, at home, I have the fire escape, the stairs. So, what I'm working on is putting kind of a vent here. So, I was trying to figure out what's the best way I can do it. I've seen a lot of different vents, but I'm always trying to do something a little bit different, especially on this scale, this style. You know, one of my problems is that I'm a perfectionist on some level, um, and I have OCD on another level. Not officially, but that's what it feels like sometimes. So so I was thinking about how can I create something, you know, and I've seen a lot of people do different type of events, and I don't know. Some of them have looked sloppy. Some of them have looked, you know. I guess I kind of when I see a dio, I focus on certain things, and I kind of blow up the picture a little bit, and you know, enlarge the picture, and I look at some of the details, and so I kind of see how people approach it, and a lot of times I approach it completely different. I approach it on the level of making it as tight, as clean as possible, and as strong as possible too. So in this case, what I have here is a cream Swiss, like those little, you know, you get the little cheese in them, individually wrapped cheese. So what I did is I want to create a vent here, and I was kind of racking my brain a little bit on how I was gonna kind of create those openings. So what I did is I just took an index card and I kind of traced it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut this. I'm actually place it in here, and then I just drew some guidelines. So that's gonna help me, and hopefully by the time I'm done, it'll look decent. So this is how I'm creating it, and I think it'll work. Cut out every other one, and it should give it the look that I'm looking for, or the look that I'm trying to achieve. All right, so just wanted to share that real quick. And I am Audi 5000. Peace. All right, so we are almost ready to start painting this. The last piece that I have to do is the railing that's gonna go on the stairs, and after that, oh, and I have to install a door up there, a working door, and just do. I may do some of the bigger concrete. Oh my god, I forgot what they're called. But just the bigger concrete blocks, cinder blocks, and pretty much done after that in terms of the carving. So then the next step becomes painting. Oh, and in the frame, I have to work the frame. I already have the framework and the sheet of paper that I'm going to be using so that you can light it up from behind and get an effect. Still have to glue this down, and I'm thinking about putting these stairs here so that people can get down down that way, but if I do that, I may have to block this off here so that it kind of makes sense. I mean, I guess this could have been first and then these stairs were added later. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Again, you know, my biggest goal when creating these dials is so that these commission dials specifically is so that the person who's getting them can get, you know, as many angles, as many shots, as many as much use, as much bang for your buck for the dial that they're paying for. So yeah, and I also have to this is something that's installed into the wall like I've done before. Same thing with this part here. This is something where I think I'm gonna magnetize it, and I think I'm just gonna simply put a magnet. I think I'm gonna put a magnet here and a magnet here, and that should be good. The biggest challenge, and I guess is why I've kind of left it for the end, is gonna be that handrail. That's gonna be the biggest challenge for me. I need to look up some tutorials and see how I can do that. Haven't done that yet, but I will. I finished this electricity pole early this morning. There is going to be some wires hanging from here, and they're going to be going towards the corner up here somewhere. So yeah, man, I'm definitely happy with how it's coming out. I think it's coming out pretty dope, man, to be honest with you. I think it's coming out really nice. I'm really hoping that the person who's purchasing this is gonna feel the same. But yeah, man, again, you can get lots of different angles. You can even get, you know, through the windows, you can get some different angles from the back of the window. Angles from here, from there. Light that can come from here, come from here. Vent there. So I think I jam-packed it. Again, he wanted the works. He wanted me to go all out, top of my list. So, or top of my so, I send out like a price list, and it kind of includes what it would, what is included within that price range. And he kind of just again wanted the works. So this is the works. This is the works, and it's definitely it's something that I thought I'd be finished by this weekend. Nah, nah. So I'll definitely start the painting process this weekend, and I'm gonna shoot for midweek finishing, and then next weekend shipping out, or end of the week shipping out. That's kind of the goal. I have again a couple other commissions on deck, so I have to make sure that I am finishing this up soon enough. But all right, yeah. So this is where I'm at. It's been fun. It's been kind of cool to experiment with different things that I haven't done before, like those stairs, and sharpening up my skills when it comes to fire escapes. One of my biggest things is always making these fire escapes as strong as possible, giving it some good details. Some I don't want to do something flimsy. I don't want to do something where I'm just gluing these to the outside of here. So I end up using my Dremel, so I can set up these holes. Then I use tacky glue, and then this balsa wood is a harder balsa wood. It's not as soft as the normal one, so I go a little bit harder with those. And again, I just want to make sure that it stays steady and strong for the life of the dial. Alright, y'all, I'm out. I am taking longer than I thought I was going to take on this thing. I think more than anything, I mean, this is definitely one of the biggest or the most I guess the most extensive build I've ever I've never created stairs before. I've never created a electricity pole before. Trying out this style of window for the first time using skinny sticks. Gonna do a vent here, so that has been time consuming. So the floor I'm actually gonna paint when I stop recording this. But somebody had mentioned in a recent comment that I didn't get to answer yet, but they said, if I can show the painting process. No. Yeah, I'm not going to show the painting process. Painting process sucks, but I will give you how I approach it. And I've given this tip before, but again, I completely understand that with new subscribers happening, a couple a week. I can't expect everyone's going to go through all 70 some odd videos of mine. So what I generally do is, so you guys already seen in this video, see the raw process or the raw dial. And then what I generally do when I start painting is I always want to make things as easy as I can for myself. So for example, one of the things that I do this sometimes, other times I don't do it. I'd rather do it. Let me see if I can pull this out. So what I did here was I painted this door separate, and you know what? This light is not set up well because it's gonna keep getting in my way. So I created this door, painted it separately, and then basically dip this in like I usually do. And instead, in the past, what I'll do is, or I've done it a couple times. I've done, I guess, both techniques, where I would put the door permanently in there, black everything out, and then come back and precisely paint the corners, which is a pain. So a lot of times, if you can just do that first, and you see us, sloppy and what have you, you paint the door on its own, and then when you glue it into the spot, then it looks seamless, and it looks neat, it looks clean. The other technique that I use, instead of trying to paint these bricks and then paint the cement and kind of do it as neat as I could, man, I don't have time for that. So what I do is I put, usually index cards. I have like a stack of stickers for my job that aren't used anymore. They were like mailing labels, and they're about the same thickness as an index card. So what I do is I put the index card here, and so I'm painting the brick, and I can just kind of be quick and paint the brick, and it's not going to get on the other side. What I've noticed is that if this color gets on here, and then I paint it in gray,
I have to give it a couple different coats, vice versa. So I would rather not give, for the most part, the brick I give 2 coats because it's a really cheap thin paint, but I love the effect that it has when I do give it 2 coats. Generally speaking, this gray, most grays, it's just 1 coat. And I don't want to come back and do a couple coats. So yeah, so I'll put like an index card right here, and then I paint, and then the thing is you can't leave it too long because if it dries, the paint dries inside the index and inside the seam here. When you pull it out, you're gonna see pink. So you have to pretty much remove it as quick as possible. And that's how I generally paint. Again, all of it will be black first. Let that dry, and it's usually 1 coat. In this case, the floor is gonna be black, so I have to give it 2 coats. And then what I do is, just paint. Paint. Same thing with the windows. A technique that I started a while ago was just painting the windows and the doors before I install them. So in this case, what I did is I started spray painting, which is actually a much easier technique and it covers a lot better. And because I am a graffiti artist, I have plenty of paint, plenty of spray paint, and plenty of colors, way more colors than I have in acrylic brush paint. So this is a light blueberry made by Montana, I believe. Belton. It's a Belton color. Belton is a German spray paint company that gears their spray paint specifically for graffiti writers. So it has the pressure isn't too great, and it paints it pretty well. So I used a light blueberry for the door, light blueberry for the window. I used a iron lock Yankee blue or Yankee something for that door. So yeah, that's pretty much no secret. You'll always see stuff like that where I won't paint that corner just because the stairs go there, so there's no need to spend time or paint on it because once the stairs are in place you can't see it anyway. Hi man, so this is the second to last segment. Next segment will be it completed. I've been working on this probably close to 2 weeks, man. Again, it was a lot of different moving parts, and I still have a lot to do. I say right now I'm probably at 80, maybe 85% done, but I'm getting there. And again, this weekend I should be completely done. This should be ready to ship out on Monday. I actually just took on another commission, a smaller one that I'm going to start this weekend as well, and have that ready by midweek. All right, y'all. Peace. I am not 100% done with this. But I do want to get a video up on YouTube. It's been about 2 weeks. So this is complete enough that I can go through the process and just kind of also go through some of the challenges that I'm having right now. So the first thing I want to say is that these wires are actually headphone wires. So I didn't want to chop them up because they're still good. But I need something this material for it to look like the electricity lines, because I tried like a wire or not a wire but a cord, like a TV cord or I had an old cord laying around, but it's just too stiff. It doesn't it has to have kind of a natural flex so that the gravity can take it and it can dip. So yeah, so once I get so I have to go to the art store and figure out what I can use for it, but once I get that, it'll be tied into those little loopholes. And then I can just hang, over there, and then you can just take it off and what have you. So let me just take that out of the way and go through this real quick. So this is actually paper, the closest thing that you can compare it to. And so that's kind of the effect that you get by using that paper and lining it in the back. But that's just kind of that parchment type paper. And they sell at the art store like 29 cents a sheet. So I wanted to use that so you can get that effect from behind. With the fan, I actually kind of made it a working, this is not the best angle, but so kind of a working fan. Again, for pictures, it's not going to do much. I guess if you're doing a video and you can have somebody kind of stand them out there spinning the fan, that'll be cool. But, it was more one of those things that I wanted to kind of try out, and that's actually made out of it's a container for cheese, the laughing cheese or the laughing cow, I think it's called, where the cheese, the pieces of cheese are individually packaged or whatever. So I use that. I as a kind of a vent, an airflow vent. First time I used this sign, I kind of saw it online. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. The this property is protected by video surveillance. Those are the silly straws, those do-it-yourself straws. Actually, Henry just asked me a question about these, and I'm about to answer him. But these are cool. They have a very cool look to them. You know what I mean? The problem is that this is kind of a rubbery material, so it's not doing as bad today. Maybe if I let it dry, but it just seems like because it's a rubbery material, it sticks. Or it stays sticky. So even when it dries, you kind of can go like that, and you can still kind of feel the stickiness. The rest of those, yeah, see here, I can feel it. You can hear it. You know, this is not sticky. So that's the only downfall with those. I mean, if I, you know, if I pack it correctly, it shouldn't stick to anything. And then also, when the person who receives this, he has to make sure that he doesn't stack anything on top of this because it's going to peel the paint. I believe I'll definitely give it another spray down of the acrylic sealer to see if that works. Working door. Used you know, used before. Now, where I'm having my challenge right now is this piece is in the wall, as is this piece. This piece is right now hanging by kind of that putty, that sticky putty, that poster putty, and this handrail's also being held together by that putty. I cut a groove in here, but when you place it in the groove, it lifts up too much from the back. So that's the last thing that I need to figure out. And I knew this was going to be the most difficult part. It's my first set of stairs and handrails and so forth. So I knew that was going to be a difficult thing to challenge, or a challenge, and difficult to make it work so that it's sturdy enough. And like for example, already this sticking out shouldn't have happened, man. But this was so new to me. I was just trying to figure it out. So I may be able to actually cut that and kind of straighten that out. I think I can do it, so I'm gonna try it. The rest of it should be sturdy enough. This again is also hung by that sticky stuff. It's not on there permanently. I don't know if I'm gonna put it on there permanently. I'm still kind of giving that thought process. So essentially it's done. A non-working door. Essentially it's done. And again, just the last steps for me is just trying to figure out the best way to have those stairs on there so it's sturdy enough. For example, this is pretty strong, so what I'm gonna do is actually back it up or give it that secondary point there, so that but it's pretty solid. And again, this part is solid, everything else is not. So that's the challenge right now. But yeah, 24 inches across, 16 inches tall, 11 inches deep, fully or collapsible. It's magnetized, and I haven't done this in a while where I just kind of take it apart. But you know what? Let me take it apart for y'all. So obviously it has a lot of moving parts, which always makes the build more difficult. And see, that's the thing you have to be careful about. The sticky poster stuff just kind of pulls some of the paint off, so I have to go back and fix that, which is not a big deal. But I have to spray down, I think, a second time. It's already been sprayed down, but I think a second time, so that doesn't happen. And not a good idea using this. So I may just put that there permanently. Yeah, the stairs. When I put that wire, I had to kind of carve out, or not the wire, the electricity pipe. I had to carve it down so that it can fit in there. You can see the difference of the darkness on the brick when you airbrush it. These stairs look horrible on the inside. It's just a bunch of glue. But yeah, so once you take out kind of the inside parts, pretty much everything else falls into place. And here is my iPhone, so you get an idea of how tall it is. And again, it's 24 inches across and 16 inches tall. So that's what you're gonna get for that. Alright, y'all. So this is it for this project. This was probably my most ambitious build. Obviously, because you can see, I'm still trying to figure it all out. And it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. I wanted to actually ship this today, but it was just it's a beast. It's a beast. So I just want to make sure that before I ship it, that it's I'm coming correct with it, and everything is working correctly, and he paid a good amount of money for this, so I have to make sure that everything's on point. So I'd rather be a couple days late, but come correct, than just send it as quick as possible, and then he gets it, and then things are just falling. He's trying to take shots, and the railings are falling, and so forth. So, yeah, and I'm out. Peace.